Hello, welcome back to the Creative Differences podcast. I am Dallas, and I'm here to tell y'all that Jonathan Majors is really that dude.
And I'm Demi. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Differences podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items, such as questioning who was tearing down those Wasp walls or those quantum walls for Janet.
Good questions.
These are questions that need to be answered, and luckily for us, Quantumania did answer them. Today, if you could not guess, we will be reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, along with The Legend of Vox Machina and the Harley Quinn Valentine's Day special.
Yep, it's a busy one. Colin could not be here. He is stuck in the quantum realm, getting his back blown out like Janet was. Gabby, so here's the thing with Gabby.
Okay.
I promise you guys, Gabby was here, but I don't know if y'all seen that video going around of Florence Pugh working that stick. Best way I can describe it. But Gabby saw that. And,
being a contortionist?
Yes. And she needed to take a moment. So
she's not here.
Yeah, she had to compose herself. She's fanning herself. We don't think she's going to recover. So blame Florence. Anyway, yeah, before we get into the episode, please like, share, subscribe, hit the buttons, hit the bells, rate, 5 stars, all that fun stuff. Just because I asked you to, and it would be nice if you did it. And let's go. Marvel.
All right.
You want to start with Marvel, or do you want to headline Marvel?
I feel like we got a headline Marvel.
Okay, so what do we want to start with?
Let's start with Harley Quinn, because we both watched Harley.
Yes, the horny Harley special, also known as the very problematic Valentine's Day special.
Yes, that must be what it's called.
Yes.
I couldn't remember what the official title was.
I've just been calling it the horny Harley special.
That's a good one.
Right? I love alliteration.
I was going to say the alliteration is really working right there.
It was directed by Jennifer Coyle and Cecilia Aronovich, and is written by the guys who made the Harley Quinn show. Dean Lorey, Justin Halpern, Patrick Schumacher. Stars Harley Quinn cast, Kaylee Cuoco, Lake Bell, Alan Tudyk, others. And it has its own IMDb summary because it's technically a TV special, not just an episode. It says Harley and Ivy are celebrating their very first Valentine's Day together. Also follows the rest of the ragtag crew and how they spend the gushiest, mushiest, most romantic day of the year. Initial thoughts. I was disappointed.
I knew it.
It's funny though. It's not anything with, okay, so there's a little bit with Harley Ivy that I didn't love, but it's mostly other stuff. I'll get into that later. The way I would describe this is a not very good episode of a very good show, is what it felt like for me.
Okay. This also isn't your type of comedy, to be fair, because they're being a lot raunchier than they usually are.
Yeah, and I don't mind it in some cases, but in some cases it was like, come on, guys. But yeah, it's just, yeah, that's my thing. A not very good episode of a very good show. But to me, what'd you think?
Oh, I had a great time. I had a lot of fun. It is what the title says it is.
Oh, okay.
It's a fun special. It's completely wild and out there. More wild and out there than I think it usually is. So it was more so than I expected.
Which says a lot, because this show is wild.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there were points in the show where even I was just like, oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Harley Quinn show has done some crazy stuff before, including blowing up a man in the first episode. I think the story that really threw me, though, was the Clayface storyline.
I hated it.
I knew you would.
I hated it.
I was so just like, oh no, no.
It's so dumb. Like, raunchy is cool. Like, most of Harley's dialogue is raunchy. A lot of what they did, the A story for this is pretty raunchy, given, the whole.
As I said, they went hardcore this time around.
Exactly. Ivy nuts so hard that we have to deal with the complications.
I love the line about that, though.
Right. Like, you can't be mad at me for that. That's not the thing. And I was like, all that is cool. Like, I don't mind the raunchy, but the Clayface just felt dumb. Like, it's so stupid. That was the thing about it. I'll try, just to get the negatives out of the way.
Is that your one negative?
There was a couple. The things about it that I didn't really rock with was everything with Clayface pretty much, which is why I say a not good episode of a good show, because in the show, a lot of what Clayface does is really funny to me. Like, Alan Tudyk's performance is amazing. Him just trying to go undercover, but never really being great at it because of the way he talked. It's funny, but this was just, I was like, come on, guys, this is just
what
dumb.
A strange self-love episode.
Right. And then the stuff with Bane, I liked up to a point.
Up until the actual climax?
Yes, perfect word for it. Because when he's, walking in and he meets Betty and there's that whole mistaken identity thing, I was like, okay, this is kind of cute. I like Betty a lot. She was giving some great energy. She was fantastic. We goes in the Etrigan shop. I love all the Etrigan stuff. But then once, he starts walking down the street, humping buildings.
That was where it drew the line.
I was like, guys, what are we doing?
Oh, they're doing whatever they want.
Exactly. It's like, okay, you guys, it's just, certain things. There's certain shows that I like in general, but then they have certain episodes where I'm like, okay, my sense of humor doesn't always line up with the person who made the show. Like Dave. I love the show Dave, but there's a couple episodes in season 2 where I'm just like, what are you doing, Dave? And that's what this was. Bane humping buildings and Clayface is just, guys. But yeah, other than that, a lot of it worked for me. I think the issues I have with Harley and Ivy's relationship don't feel as, for lack of a better term, problematic for me here, because it's just like a TV special.
Yeah.
It's not part of like a long season arc or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Valentine's Day. If this happens and then you guys work it out, it's a 44-minute holiday special. I'm not even worried. It's like watching the Guardians holiday special. It's like, I don't need to take the story as serious. And in general with the Harley Quinn show, I don't need to take it that serious because the show is so silly.
I liked that in this situation, like, it really was just a difference of expectations or differences of like the way that they see the holiday. So it's just like, and also Harley herself just is so into her relationships, whereas Poison Ivy is so chill and laid back. Yeah. So like that clash of personalities, just like, of course on Valentine's Day, like they have very different expectations of what this day should be. Of course Poison Ivy wants to be super low-key about it, and Harley's gonna do her absolute best to do the most, because Harley wants to show how much she loves this person, and Harley can only do that by doing the most. Less is never more with Harley Quinn. And I like that. I thought that was a really good way of showing the differences between their personalities and the things that they want, but also showing that like there is a willingness for them to work together as well as to continue to make things work within their relationship. Yeah. Because it's like, yes, of course, we're very different people. Like, you're never going to be in a relationship with somebody who has the same exact desires as you or like the same personality or anything like that. But the point is that you're supposed to on both sides put in an effort to kind of find a compromise as to what you want. Yeah. And I think Harley had to kind of learn that in this episode from Ivy. But also Ivy's story about what her favorite Valentine's Day is the sweetest. Yeah. And we dragged me through all this nonsense to get to that last 2 minutes of just like heartfelt sincerity. And I'm just like, where was this the last 42 minutes? But that's why it's a holiday special, though. Yeah. You got to get to the meaning of the holiday at the end. I really liked Ivy, and Harley really got on my nerves because of a certain line that Ivy has toward the end that kind of encapsulates this whole thing for me, which is, putting on my biphobia hat. Just kidding. It's just like, Ivy says, yo, I'm just trying to be chill. I want to binge watch a show, have some sex, go to bed. Cool. Valentine's Day. Love it. And then Harley takes her to Mama Macaroni's. Everything's chill. And then even when Harley kind of goes over the top, Ivy's rocking with it. She's like, you know what? This is cool. I'm having fun. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool. Ivy is compromising. And then later on, she's telling her like, yo, I told you what I want. You explicitly disregarded it. And then I was still riding with you. But just like how many times can I tell you this is what I want? And you just ignore it before stuff goes wrong. And it's like, Harley, listen to her, bro. She told you what you wanted. It's definitely a situation of like Harley has to learn that like she has to listen to what Ivy wants. But I also think and this is a lesser issue with their relationship, is just that Harley has certain triggers because of the relationship that she had with Joker. So it's like, I need to be validated. And I feel like Ivy's the type of person who doesn't necessarily validate people. Yeah, like words of affirmation is probably not her love language. Yeah, probably not at all. She's probably really bad at it, but it's something that Harley needs. So I think she just missed that hint that Harley was giving. Like, great isn't the word of affirmation that I need. God, Harley. And it's just saying like, great. It's like, bro, just take it. I was like, Harley, baby, it's fine. She liked it. It was fun. It doesn't need to be the absolute best. Yeah. But I had a lot of fun. I thought the show was just as funny as usual. Obviously far more sexual because it's a Valentine's Day special, and if we're gonna do Valentine's Day, we're gonna raunch it up. They amped up the horny. They did. I loved the homage to When Harry Met Sally, which I now only understand that homage because I've seen When Harry Met Sally for this podcast. Which one was? What was it? Where with all of the people doing their little talking to the camera. Oh, okay. I did like that. The little anecdotes from all the different superheroes couples. I was like, I honestly want more of this. That's a reference to When Harry Met Sally. Okay, that makes sense.
That was really good.
Yeah, and I thought they got really great guest actors for those segments, like Quinta Brunson and Tyler James
That's
Williams.
what made me decide, okay, I do actually need to watch this.
As Hawkman and Hawkwoman.
They were so good. I wish Hawk Girl would have spoken more.
Yeah, me too.
Because if I didn't know that was Quinta, I wouldn't have recognized her because she didn't say a lot.
She didn't.
She was just kind of like, oh yeah, we did that. That was me. And she had a couple lines, but like I recognized his voice immediately.
Yeah. And then also Janet Varney is also in this episode.
So I remember you saying that she was in it.
I said that she was going to be in Harley Quinn at some point. I hadn't pointed
because
out
I didn't recognize her voice at all. And then I went on IMDb and looked up. She's like, she was Mara?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes as well.
Okay.
When I talk about the Legend of Vox Machina. But
okay.
I think I recognized her voice immediately for that. Much more than I did for the Legend of Vox Machina. I think she just kind of uses her own regular voice when she's playing Cora.
That makes sense because I've heard her on. They have like a podcast with her and Dante Bosco, and she just sounds like Cora.
She just sounds like Cora. Like Cora just sounds like her. So I know that voice very, very well. But yeah, I think Mira was just slightly different from her actual voice.
Okay.
But I was very excited to hear that she was Mira because I was like, if Mira ever comes back on the show, that means it'll be Janet Varney. And I love her. She's great.
You might know who was sitting next to Darkseid.
You know what? I did not go to look that up.
Because she didn't say anything.
No.
She just kind of smiled. I was like, who is this woman? Is she supposed to be a woman from real life?
Oh my gosh, that would be horrifying.
So my instinct was Melania Trump. Just because they have her sitting next to an evil guy, just talking about all his evil deeds, and then she just sits there and smiles and doesn't really say anything. But I don't really have any reason to think that's her. It's just a white woman with brown hair. I'll
get back to you on that. Also, John Stamos says Etrigan.
I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, Etrigan was one of my favorite things about this. Because him speaking in rhyme is already a canonical thing, but the way they do it in this show, like he says something about like, use this summons, it'll have you both, and then Harley stops him. Like, you don't need to say come in, we know it. But he was great. He's just running this little sex shop, like doing a side hustle.
Yeah, and then could you tell why I said that Gabby should watch it, even if she doesn't watch the show, but I was like, you should watch it.
Yes. Yes, she should definitely watch it. That was so ridiculous. God, that was so stupid. But he's a great voice.
So Darkseid's girlfriend is Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Who's that?
She's currently the fiance of Donald Trump Jr.
That's hilarious. Okay, I got wrong Trump, but I knew, I was like, I'm getting Trump first lady vibes somewhere.
That's why.
That's hilarious. Okay.
According to Wiki, I went to like the Harley Quinn Wiki.
All right, Harley guys, I see what y'all are doing.
I mean, they're not subtle.
No.
Ever. But yeah, it was a lot. I had a lot of fun. If you're into like raunchy comedy, then you'll probably be into it. If you're not afraid to get weirded out by some of the sexual stuff that they do in this episode, feel free. I was slightly put off by the Clayface story, but I didn't let it get in the way because it's such a small part of the story. But man, every time it would come up, I was like, why was this a decision y'all made?
Also, I feel like
they said, what's the craziest The Boys-esque story we could come up with?
And that's the thing is like, I just feel like for some reason, and obviously I don't know what the writing process is or anything like that, I feel like with the Clayface bit, they let the gimmick take the place of the writing. Like they were like, okay, we got so much, like the humor is in this situation. This situation is already funny enough for the people who will find it funny.
Which was a very funny situation.
So I don't think, because like that was for me, like the dialogue in it wasn't funny to me. Like if that situation happened and they were, because I've seen,
it wasn't like the episode where he lost his hand and the hand had that whole relationship with James Gordon.
That was so ridiculous. But like I've seen stuff like Doom Patrol.
Yes.
And they'll do the most ridiculous things in the world on The Boys. But for me, the writing is always still up there. Like, you know, a magic street, a dude who flexes his muscles and everyone on the street starts coming simultaneously. Like that's ridiculous. But the writing was always good for me. So I was like, I can take as weird as you can get if I still think this is funny. That one just didn't hit for me.
Yeah.
I think in general, if you like the show, you'll like the episode.
Well, yeah, most likely. Speaking of adult animated shows, The Legend of Vox Machina, which was created by and stars Critical Role, which consists of Matthew Mercer, Laura Bailey, Taliesin Jaffe, Ashley Johnson, Liam O'Brien, Marisha Ray, Sam Riegel, and Travis Willingham.
I don't know. Ashley Johnson was part of that.
She is.
That's dope.
That's how I became a fan of hers. After saving the realm from evil and destruction at the hands of the most terrifying power couple in Exandria, Vox Machina is faced with saving the world once again, this time from a sinister group of dragons known as the Chroma Conclave.
All right.
This is fun because usually when we do like season 2 synopses, they're only just the synopsis from season 1. That's legitimately the synopsis of season 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I guess somebody went in and updated what the actual season's about. That is what season 2 is about. It's just as good as season 1, if not improved some, especially in certain places. The story grows exponentially in the span of just the first episode. Like, the first episode is so crazy epic and just so grand in scale, but there's also so much destruction that I did not know you could do in 1 half-hour episode of cartoons. It's insane. It quickly shows you the massive scale as well as the massive amount of stakes that are in this show. Because last season, like it said, they were going up against a power couple. They were going up against a sorceress and her vampire lover.
Right.
This season, we're going up against a group of dragons, and y'all can only imagine the amount of destruction that 4 dragons can cause in the span of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Man, a whole city is damn near dead. But the quest of the season is a lot of fun, and it teaches us a lot about the characters and the histories that have made them into who they are, which is really, really great. There's only 12 episodes per season, and each of them are about a half hour. So when you've got a series of like 7 main characters, I think, it can get really difficult to like try and show who all of these people are and give all of their history so that people can get attached to them and stuff like that. But this show makes it look like effortless. Last season, there was a lot about Percy and Pike. This season, Percy kind of takes a back seat because we kind of got his full, like...
Is Percy the one with the plague mask?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah. We got, like, a lot of his story and his history last season because that's basically what the season was about. So this season, he kind of takes the back seat. But there are a few episodes where we get to learn about Vex and Vax's backstory, and Vex and Vax might be my favorite characters on the show. And then we also get to learn... There's, like, an episode that's about Keyleth's backstory. There's an episode that's about... There are a couple episodes about Grog's backstory and how that ties into Pike's backstory. We get to learn a lot more about Scanlan because Scanlan discovers something about himself that he didn't know in this season. All right. So all the characters get their time to shine. And because these characters get their time to shine, it means that the actors themselves also get to shine as their characters.
Love that.
There are some genuine surprises in the story for those of us who might not know the story of The Legend of Vox Machina. I thought I knew a lot, because my best friend is a huge fan of The Legend of Vox Machina. Or, well, she's a huge fan of Critical Role.
Right.
And Vox Machina is like, I don't know if Vox Machina is actually her favorite of the teams that they've put together for Critical Role, but I've heard so much about them. Mm-hmm. And there was an episode I sat up and was like, how did I not know that this is a plot point that happened at any point? Like, I've talked to this girl so much about Vox Machina. How did I not know that this happens? It blew my mind, and I got so emotional, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen next week? Like, what? Goodness. What's going on? So it's great. I love that. The voice acting is incredible as always. Like, this is it's a trip of like professional voice actors. Like, this is what they do. And they got this show because they were just a bunch of nerdy voice actors who play Dungeons and Dragons. That's literally the logo of the slogan of their show. That's how they start every Critical Role episode, is that we're a bunch of nerdy voice actors playing D&D.
What a great job. You're playing a game with your friends and then, now we have an Amazon show.
Yeah. Like I said, a number of the characters have very emotional scenes in the midst of their character growth. So those actors get to, do their thing. And the guest cast is phenomenal.
My boy's on there.
Oh my God. Like last season we had like Indira Varma and Stephanie Beatrice, who returned this season as well for a couple of episodes. Mm-hmm. This season we've added on Lance Reddick.
Oh, nice.
Yes, he's playing the lead dragon of the Chroma Conclave.
Oh, okay.
We have Ralph Ineson, who is another fantastic voice actor who I love.
He's a good voice.
Cree Summers is in there.
Gotta have
playing one of the dragons. Janet Varney, who we mentioned in the Harley Quinn review, she's in this as Keyleth's mom. Did not even know that was her voice until I went to look it up on IMDb later. And my favorite thing about that is Keyleth is a character. She's a druid who is learning to control the 4 elements.
Okay.
She's almost like a bender. It's almost like an Avatar situation. Right. So she is from an air tribe.
Okay.
And she has to go off and she has to do what is called her Aramente, which is basically like her trials, I guess, to become like the leader or something like that. But in order for her to pass her Aramente, she has to learn all of the other elements.
Okay. That's
so
fine.
her mom had to do the same thing. And her mom is played by freaking Korra.
That's funny.
And I was like, you guys literally got Avatar Korra. You got the Avatar to play your Avatar's
That's great.
mom.
It's good casting.
Amazing. And also, like, apparently, so Marisha Ray is one who plays Keyleth, and also created the character, obviously, because it was from a D&D game. Apparently, Avatar: The Last Airbender was a huge part in her creating that character.
Oh, nice.
She took a lot of inspiration from that show, so for them to actually get an avatar is amazing. I also read somewhere that Sam Riegel, who is one of the actors and writers on the show, his daughter's one of her favorite shows is The Legend of Korra.
Oh, cool.
And she plays little Keyleth on that episode.
Oh, that's cute.
So she got to have Korra play her mom in the episode, which is super cute. That is my favorite thing about that whole thing. I'm like, yes, you got Janet Varney, but you also got her to play an avatar. But her voice is completely different.
Interesting.
On that show. She sounds like she sounds like a mom.
Nice.
And then also Will Friedle shows
boy.
up.
I love Will Friedle.
Well, so apparently, I didn't know this until I was reading the comments on a reaction video for one of the episodes. He comes in to play a character on this show. It's the same character that he actually played for their campaign. I didn't know that he was actually in their campaign.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I know that he plays D&D.
Okay.
Because that's how I learned how to paint miniatures. He has an entire series on YouTube that's him learning how to paint miniatures.
Nice. That's cool.
So if you're a beginner at learning, you just kind of learn with him. It's very nice. It's very fun.
Okay, cool.
It's very amusing. So I knew that he was into tabletop games.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was actually on Critical Role for a while. So he's playing his character that he made for the game.
That's dope.
Yeah. So
I was so happy. I heard on one of his podcasts, he was talking about Vox Machina and how he's going to be. I was like, Demi watches that show.
I do. I love that show. And then finally, like when I said that the show has improved, I think the place where it really improved is the animation.
Okay.
Which is like, the animation was good last year. But when that first episode started, I was like, hold up. Wait a minute. I was like, the animation, we bumped up a little bit, didn't we?
Nice.
I was like, we spending money, man. Like there's a part where one of the dragons like blows a hole through like the palace. And man, just that sequence alone, I was just like, whew, we spending money.
So when you, just to clarify, you're not talking about like how Bane was blowing holes through buildings in the Harley Quinn. Okay,
no.
Just to make sure.
No.
Got it.
But yeah, their animation has bumped up since last season, and because the animation has gotten better since last season, that means that their action sequences are even more impressive.
Nice.
Like their action sequences are already really, really good, but man, when you like really raise the level on the animation, it's superb. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm excited for when we finally get season 3, probably next year. I'm very certain that we will get a season 3 because it was just announced recently that they are also making an animated series for their other campaign that they did.
I heard about that.
For the Mighty Nine.
Yes.
So I'm super excited about that. I also know almost nothing about the Mighty Nine, which means that I, once again, like I did with Vox Machina, I can just go into that story and just
enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show and just really be into the story and the storytelling and get to watch all these actors play their characters again that they've been doing on Vox Machina. And also just like, if we're getting a Mighty Nine show, that means that one day we might get a Bell's Hells show. And Bell's Hells is the campaign they're doing right now.
Okay.
And when we get an animated Imogen and Laudna, I'm just going to lose it. Because I can't wait. I love them so much. I love that entire team so much because I guess probably because it's my first Critical Role campaign that I'm keeping up with like consistently.
Okay.
And then also I would love if like, because I think they've signed a deal with Amazon Prime.
Oh, dope.
So I'm hoping that means like maybe we can get like miniseries too. Because if we could get like an Exandria Unlimited miniseries and bring in like Amy Carrero and like all the people who are playing in that game, that would be a lot of fun.
Is that another campaign of theirs?
It's like a mini campaign. They did like an 8 episode miniseries. Robbie Damon's on that one too, and Robbie's an amazing voice actor. Liam O'Brien and Matthew Mercer are on that one as well. Abria Iyengar, who is one of my favorite DMs, was the DM for that. I would also love it if they could do like a Calamity miniseries, which the Calamity is a big ordeal that happens. It's a big ordeal that happens in the history of their world.
Okay.
So if they could make like a miniseries of that, because that mini campaign was also really good. It was like a 4-episode campaign, and it's one of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever witnessed in any form of media. So I would love to see a mini series of that. Like if they could just take all the like tiny campaigns, all the big campaigns, if they could take all that and make that into like their own little animated MCU type of thing, I'd be super excited. That would be really, really cool. And I don't think anything like it will have ever been done.
Oh, maybe they'll do it.
This is what I look to when I look for like content based on D&D, because I'm like, yes, I want this vibe right here. Which is funny because like Willow is like, to me, I'm like, this is basically a D&D campaign without actually being based in D&D, which is weird. So Legend of Vox Machina, it's really good if you haven't seen it, and if you're super into fantasy and adult animation, I highly recommend it. It's super, super good.
Nice, nice, nice.
And that leads us to our headliner, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yeah. Directed by Peyton Reed. You know him. May bring it on. The Breakup. Yes, man. All the Ant-Man movies. It's written by Jeff Loveness, who wrote for Rick and Morty and some other things.
He will also be writing the Kang Dynasty.
Yeah, heard about that. Stars Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Jonathan Majors, Catherine Newton, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Michael Douglas. Let's get to the summary. Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne, along with Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, explore the quantum realm, where they interact with strange creatures and embark on an adventure that goes beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
I was going to say, initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts. I enjoyed it. Out of the trilogy, it is my least favorite.
I think it's also my least favorite.
But I really like the Ant-Man movies, so that's not saying anything too crazy. I just really like the first two a lot. And this one is cool. I definitely don't dislike it. People on Twitter just like going a little hard. Like, it's so bad.
People on Twitter have been dog walking Marvel movies lately when they're not even
they
like...
gotta relax.
Yeah, like it's not even like they're the worst movies ever. They're just like, yeah, this one was all right.
Yeah, it's like people... Marvel made a few projects that not everybody loves, and then people who hate it just came out of the woodwork like, oh, we trashing Marvel? Rubbing their hands together like, never mind. What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it's fun. It's a fun movie like its predecessors. I'd say that it's almost on par with the first two. I think the second half of it really sings. That's when I think the movie works best, is like that second half of the movie. Basically when Kang comes in.
I agreed.
Which I don't want to say it's because Kang arrives.
I'll say it.
But it might be because Kang arrives. But yeah, let's dive into that. I think that the story is fine. I feel like it could have been tightened up a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't mind the story. I feel like we've talked before about how the Ant-Man movies are the smaller scale, more contained.
Far more personal.
Yeah.
I think it lost a little bit of the personal.
And I think Ant-Man, for me at least, Ant-Man works best as that type of story.
Yeah.
I like it when it's the smaller scale, family story. Like I get, you're going big, bringing in Kang. I don't want to see Kang versus Ant-Man. I want to see Ant-Man reconcile with his daughter. I want to know where Judy Greer is. And
I want Michael Pena.
I want David Dasmalkian playing Kurt, not Jelly Boy or whatever. I didn't know that was him.
Hole Man.
Yeah, the dude who's obsessed with people's holes. I will not clarify that. I saw his name in the credits.
I did too.
And I was like,
Kurt wasn't in here.
Kurt wasn't. And I was thinking maybe he'll be in the mid-credit scene or something. No.
Which they have done before.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, maybe he'll be in that. But I didn't see Michael Pena or T.I. So I was like, it's just going to be him. That's weird. And then I saw something that said he was the
alien.
Hole Man.
Oh, not an alien. They're just little quantum beings. Take a shot for every time we say quantum.
Yes. But big ups to him because I didn't recognize his voice at all.
No.
He's a surprisingly good voice actor. I didn't know he could do that. But yeah, I just feel like this story, it feels dismissive to say it's too big for Ant-Man, but this isn't what I come to Ant-Man for, especially because Kang is the next big bad. I don't want to see him fight Paul Rudd and some ants. Like, it doesn't feel... The fact that Kang went up against Team Ant-Man and their ants, and not all of them are just dead, it makes... I don't doubt what Kang is, because I know what Kang is, but it just feels like, this is how you brought him in? So now when he's the big bad for the saga, like the Kang Dynasty, when we were fighting the Avengers, it's like, bro, I saw Paul Rudd and his ants give you a hard time. Like, I'm not really worried about you like that.
Yeah. I think there's a plot line in the story about revolution and fighting back against colonizers that could have been better fleshed out and could have really brought the story to the next level. If we're not going to be personal, then at least we can be thematically
societal and
thematically relevant. But like, they bury it so deep in there, like, yeah, that's the thing that's happening, but then give it no attention.
Right, like, he's conquering, he's doing what conquerors do.
Yeah, like, I think it would have been great to give that a little more headway for Cassie.
Yeah, social justice warrior is Cassie's whole thing, and
it's there for Cassie.
Yeah,
they don't delve into it. There's not really a lot of nuance in it because we don't really get to dive into it.
Yeah, because they're trying to do other things at the same time. Like, we need to introduce Kang and his whole thing.
But I mean, you can still do that with Kang because Kang is the enemy of that story. He's the conqueror.
Yeah, like they didn't focus on it really.
I wish they had, because I actually like the leader of the little revolution that they've got going on there for the small amount of time that she's in there.
Warrior woman trope lady.
Yeah.
She was cool.
I liked her. I would have liked to have known more about her and the guy who reads people's minds.
Oh, I loved him.
He was great.
Was this William Jackson Turner?
Yes, I think something like that.
He was great. I loved him. And that's one of the things about this movie that makes it not my favorite of the trilogy, is that The humor was more hit or miss for me this time.
Yeah.
But that dude was fantastic. Every time he was, just how done he was with everybody. Like, I'm reading your mind.
William Jackson Harper.
Ah, there it is. Thank you. He's fantastic. I hope he comes back. But yeah, the character of Big Warrior Woman, Xena, she's the type of character that I see them and I'm like, that's a really cool character. I wish we could go deeper with it.
Yeah.
Because,
there's potential there.
Yeah, because right now she just feels like the trope of the Revolutionary Warrior.
Yeah.
Because we don't get much more from her yet.
Yeah, I think there's more on the actress on that part where I was just like, oh, she's, doing a good job.
She's doing her thing with what she got.
She's got a lot of charisma. I appreciate that.
She just doesn't have a lot there.
She's doing what she can.
Exactly. She's working with what she got.
But speaking of the main character, the actual characters, let's talk about the actual important
right, the people
characters.
that we came to the movie for.
Yeah.
I love Scott. Paul Rudd. I just love him. Like, I'm always going to love Scott. He's so understanding to the point
degree.
Where, like...
Unless it has to do with Cassie.
But that's the thing is, like, Cassie got on my nerves, which is weird because I agree with Cassie. When she goes to jail, we saw that in the trailer. We found out the reason why she goes to jail. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm with you. But that whole family dynamic of like, we don't even need to tell your dad what's going on with you. It's like, bro, this is my daughter.
I don't think that's a her problem, though. That's everybody
It's not her problem, but
she's a teenager.
She's a teenager, but she's part of it in that, like...
Yeah, I would be too.
They don't treat the situation like Scott is her dad.
They don't.
And
although
I get that he's been gone, but like, bro,
Well, they were gone too.
Right, I guess just Cassie wasn't gone.
Yeah, just Cassie wasn't gone.
Right.
I think there's an argument to be made that this was made acceptable because it's very clear that she calls them, she calls them grandma and grandpa now. Those are...
Oh, does she?
Yeah, she calls them that in the movie. So nice. I guess it's like, no, we're actually family now. So yeah,
definitely we can
keep things from your dad.
No, bro, if my daughter goes to jail on multiple occasions and y'all don't tell me.
Know.
And he's never seemed like the type of dad that you couldn't talk to.
No.
Which, he didn't go, he wasn't there for her.
She missed 5 years.
Yeah, he wasn't there for her teenage rebellious era. So
if she had a teenage rebellious era.
I mean, she clearly does.
She does now.
Yeah. But just the way that she talks to him.
She sounds like she would have been a flag smasher.
I can see that. It gives me the vibes of Max Goof. And this is why I say Max isn't black, because it's the white kid talking to their parents with that level of disrespect. Yeah, maybe he doesn't need to always bring up the fact that he saved the world. But they're at the table and she's like, oh, at least we're doing something. What are you doing, Dad? You ain't done nothing since you fought there. It was like, bro, why are you getting in his world like that? He's done nothing to you. He's not even really mad at you. Like, he's concerned.
I feel like for Cassie, it doesn't come from a place of like, I'm angry at you for doing something to me. It's just, I'm disappointed that you're not doing more because I know you can do more and I've seen you do more. So why aren't you actually doing it now? Yeah. Which if I was Scott, I'd just be like, because I've already done all that. Right. And I think I deserve a break.
I'm just trying to raise you, bro. Like, I got stuck in the quantum realm. My family got snapped. I don't know where Judy Greer is. Like, where's your mom? I'm raising you by myself right now.
Well, they've been calling her apparently, so they're in contact. She on vacation with Bobby Cannavale.
Right, they're doing their thing. But it's just, I come from a historically black family, so
historically
there's a certain way I don't like seeing white kids talk to their parents. It irks me, especially when their parents are nice, like Paul Rudd. And it's just like, bro, you don't need to get in this world like that. Especially there's some, I can't remember what the line is, but they talk about how he was gone. And it's like, bro, it's not like he left for a pack of cigarettes and then come back for 5 years. He got stuck. He couldn't be there. He wanted to be there. He came back after he escaped and immediately went to you, Cassie.
To be fair, she also fixed that problem if it ever happens again. So
yeah, which is great. But like, don't hold that against me. It's not my fault.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Scott's great. I liked Cassie a lot. First off, Catherine Newton's doing a great job.
She is great.
She's amazing as Cassie. Also giving a lot of Anna Sophia Robb vibes in this movie. And I could not explain why she reminded me of her the entire movie.
Interesting name pick.
Yeah, I think she's great as Cassie. And I look forward to seeing her continue to play that role. Whenever she is playing opposite Paul Rudd, they're really great together, especially in that the second half of the movie. Whenever she is learning something or she's accomplishing something. I love that.
The father-daughter Ant-Man teaming up. That was great.
Yeah, like they're really good together and they have a really good chemistry. I mean, Evangeline Lilly is doing a great job still as Hope Van Dyne. Got to do she always does a lot with Michael Douglas, but now adding Michelle Pfeiffer into that dynamic as well. And I thought all three of them were great together. I think they focused a lot less on Hank this time and more so on that mother-daughter relationship.
But Hank is just chilling. He's just in the background vibing for most of the movie.
Which, you know what, good for him. He's always wondered about the quantum realm.
It's so interesting because all these things will happen.
And he's like, yeah, okay.
And they're getting all this exposition and backstory. And, oh, this is the dude who used to bust down my walls when you were gone. And this dude is a terrorist. And he's
that
just...
might be one of my favorite scenes, though. Just for Evangeline Lilly's reaction to that entire conversation.
It was a lot. But yeah, and he's like, "Oh, what's this? How you do this? This is cool. Look
I did.
around.
Well, I did like his hesitation before.
I would 100%.
I was like, nah, bro, I'm not doing it.
I put my arm in that thing.
No.
But yeah, he was having a good time.
Yeah, I saw somebody say that like Michael Douglas is kind of phoning it in through the whole movie, and I'm like, kind of. But it's only because Hank is just kind of vibing.
Yeah, Hank is phoning it. So it's like they're not giving him a lot to do, so he's just gonna have fun with it. I respect that.
I think Michelle Pfeiffer does a fantastic job, especially whenever she's in a scene with Jonathan Majors as Kang.
Yeah.
Like that entire dynamic is fantastic because I didn't know what to expect from it.
Me either, especially with the way the movie starts.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know where this could go anywhere.
Right. Was he
tearing
breaking down the Wasp walls? We know somebody
walls?
was.
He was tearing down the quantum walls.
Yes.
Just not those ones.
Not hers.
Man, Jonathan Majors. He's the reason you should go see this movie. He's
the reason I like this movie as much as I do. Like,
he's worth the price of admission.
Not the only. I love Paul Rudd, and a lot of Paul Rudd's humor works for me, and even his more serious acting. But Jonathan Majors is the reason I was excited for this movie.
That's true, yeah.
Which is funny because it contradicts the fact that I said Ant-Man should be a smaller story. But hey, if you're not gonna have it be a smaller story, at least I get Jonathan Majors because he was great. His acting, he brings a gravitas to the movie. Every line he delivers, you feel it. You feel it with him and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I feel like this movie would have worked a lot better if he was brought in a lot sooner and the conflict with him was brought in a lot sooner.
Okay.
Because we get into the quantum realm a lot faster than I thought we were going to.
Yeah.
And then there's quite a bit of time before we actually get introduced to Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if he had been in here earlier and started causing trouble and chaos a lot earlier, this probably would have worked a lot better. And I think this is the highest compliment I can give any actor who is playing a villain. Jonathan Majors is bringing a very Darth Vader energy to Kang the Conqueror. I love that so much because Darth Vader is a character who's got less than 15 minutes of screen time in the original Star Wars movie, but immediately became one of the most iconic villains in cinema.
That's true. And he has been ever since.
He has been ever since. And I think that Jonathan Majors, like you said, he just brings so much gravitas to the film, and just he's so calm and collected in a very similar way to Darth Vader. Like, you know that this man is a threat, and he knows that he's so much of a threat. He doesn't need to yell at you. He doesn't need to do any of that. He can stay completely calm. And on top of that, he starts moving people around with just his hands, not touching you. I'm just like, oh, you're so Darth Vader. And it's I don't think I've ever seen an actor bring so much Darth Vader energy to a villain since the actual Darth Vader himself.
He did it very well. And the fact that he is so calm makes it hit harder when he does lose it.
Yep.
Whenever he gets upset or he starts yelling or, you feel it more because this dude will just walk up, but with his hands behind his back, it's like, oh, you're an Avenger. Have I killed you before? I'm like, wait, what did he say?
Right. We talked about in our Ant-Man and the Wasp reaction about the difference between like villains and like evil.
Right.
Kang is evil.
Kang is evil.
And we talked about how like little interest we have in villains who are just evil. But Jonathan Majors gives it like there's something underneath that evil. Yeah. And I don't have to know what it is, but I can sense that there's more than just I'm an evil person. That there is something that feels more nuanced than what we're actually getting on screen. And it feels more interesting. Like, yes, he's just here to conquer. He's just here to destroy. He's just here to take over. But there's something there that just draws your eye and your attention, and it feels so much better than most villains who are just evil. Yeah,
it's written well and performed so well that you know there's a reason. The way he speaks about it, the way he speaks about what he has to do and blah, 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 it's like, you have a reason why you think you're not just evil.
He's the type of evil that I like. There are very few just evil characters that I like am interested in. And he's one of those, like he reminds me of not just Darth Vader, but Chiwetel Ejiofor plays a villain called I think he's called the Assassin or something like that. And, oh no, he's in so much stuff. He's in Serenity. That's the movie.
Oh, okay.
I know specifically what movie I'm talking about.
Got it.
It's what his name is in the movie that's bugging me.
I was gonna
The
guess.
Operative.
Operative. Okay.
He plays this character called the Operative who has no problems killing anybody, men, women, children. It doesn't matter. And like he's an evil person, but he's so calm about it. And he's just like, yeah, I'm creating a better world. And I was just like, what do you mean you're creating a better world? You kill people.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to live in that better world. I'm not going to be there to see it, but I'm creating it by doing all of these horrible things. Like that's the type of evil that I'm interested in.
Right.
Because you truly believe that you are out to do something good.
Right. You're not evil from your own perspective. It's funny when you brought up as your four. My first thought went to Four Brothers.
Oh no!
I was like, "There's no way she's talking about Four Brothers."
No, more sci-fi. Because sci-fi is my jam. Speaking of sci-fi being my jam, this movie also has a lot of Star Wars in it. I can feel like you remember when somebody posted that article in our group chat that was like, it's like Marvel's Star Wars or something like that.
Yeah, I
and
remember that.
Colin was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
After I got out of the movie, I was like, no, I understand what they mean. Like,
when I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm getting Star Wars vibes.
And I said the same thing when we reacted to the trailer. I was like, there's a lot of Star Wars-esque visuals in here. Probably due to Peyton Reed's recent outing in the Mandalorian territory.
Right.
It feels like there's a lot of Star Wars influence, and not just in like the visuals, but also kind of like in the storytelling itself. There are moments that I'm like, this feels like a Star Wars moment. Not necessarily like this is written like one, or that it's going play by play like Star Wars would, but it's like, but this feels like how I would feel watching a Star Wars sequence. Or
I can see that.
Yeah, it manages to evoke that feeling without actually having to be Star Wars, which I would say is impressive. There was another movie that it was also reminding me. Oh, I said in my head while I was watching it, I was like, there's a little bit of Star Wars in here, a little bit of Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, I see that.
A little bit of Osmosis Jones. The scariest visuals I've seen of ants since seeing that photo of what an ant's face actually looks like.
Man, they're going to give you the ants.
Sorry, Jordan, you can't watch this movie.
Yep. You got ants. It's Ant-Man.
Yeah. I saw somebody say that this movie is an eyesore. I don't agree with that. I like the visuals on this a lot, actually. I like the production design of it.
So here's the thing. I like the visuals for the most part. MODOK?
Okay, obviously not MODOK. I think MODOK gave me shivers both times I saw his face.
MODOK can't work. Like, the character design just doesn't work in live action.
Unless you keep that metal shield over its face.
Which is funny because when I saw the metal thing, I was like, okay, could be worse.
And then it got worse.
And then, of course, they reveal the face, and I'm just, it's so bad. But in the movie, it is canonically horrifying to look at. Every time they see him, they're like, oh my God, what is this?
What's wrong with you?
But just every time I see that little blown up face,
it's horrifying.
It looks like a really zoomed in Lord Farquaad face.
It made me okay with the zoomed in face when Kang has his mask on sometimes.
It's like, God, this looks like a Shrek character. I did not... Man, MODOK. I've never liked MODOK. Like, as a character.
When I talk about liking the visuals of this movie, I mean like the way the quantum realm looks.
Yeah, that stuff looks cool. You got broccoli people. You got a really swole Pixar lamp dude who wants to torture people all the time. Some pretty visuals here and there.
I think it's a good use of the volume.
Okay.
Because they're definitely using I think they said that the volume was used for this movie, and I think it was a good use of it.
Okay.
Because there were definitely times where I was like, ooh, that's very pretty to look at. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I thought that the production design and the visual effects design were really cool here. Again, the key thing to take out of this is you should just go see this movie for Kang, though.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what... we still never got the answer as to what superhero name Cassie's going to pick up, though.
I hope it's Stinger.
I know you do, and I know it fits the theme, but I think I just want Stature because that's how I know Cassie in the comics.
That makes sense.
I know her as Stature.
The first time I saw Cassie was in a Young Avengers comic, and I read the word Stature, and I was like, that's stupid. Like, that's your name? Stature?
Yeah, I think I just want it because I'm so attached to... Right. That's like, how I know the character.
For the source material, like, that's who she is to you.
I've never seen a comic where she's called Stinger, so...
Yeah. I don't think I have either. I've just seen it listed. But I actually haven't read a lot. I haven't read a lot of the Young Avengers stuff either.
I've read a number of them, but I still have not seen the name Stinger anywhere. It's cooler, and it's a cooler name. It goes with the theme of the family.
Right. You got the Wasp, Ant-Man, other Ant-Man.
Stinger.
Boom.
But yeah, just...
We'll see. I do look forward to seeing her with the Young Avengers.
Whenever Feige decides that he wants to plan it, because apparently he's not planning it. I think you're lying, sir, but fine.
Yeah, he said he's not planning it?
He said that they have currently no plans for it as of right now.
That sounds like a lie to me. But yeah, Oh, shout out to Darren Cross though. Like, no, sorry, Corey Stoll. The actor, he was good. As much as I
never want to see that face
enjoy
again.
looking at the character, his performance was good. He was funny. Yeah, Kang's great. If you like the first two Ant-Man, I would still recommend giving it a shot.
Also,
like, chances are you'll like it. In
our reaction video, one of my predictions came true.
Which one?
About how this movie was going to end. I'm upset that the other one didn't come true, though.
I have to ask you about that off mic.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're going to jump straight to trailer tracking because, oh my gosh, we've already done enough talking about reviewing things, and now we need to talk about these trailers because too many good ones came out for us to ignore.
So many trailers.
Because there's no way we would not talk about the Flash trailer.
Man, it's hitting. I see why they didn't want to cancel it. This movie looks really dope.
It was like, nah, bro, we're not getting rid of this one.
Man, it just looks so dope. There's so many things about it that get me excited as, you know, the comic nerd that I am.
Yeah, there are some movies where you see the trailer and you're just like, I have a sense that this movie's going to be real good. And this is one of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, I'm starting to actually really believe all these people who are like, this is one of the best comic book movies that's ever been made. Like, I look at this trailer and I'm like, it looks like there's a lot of really great stuff.
See what you guys might mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my first thought was, y'all got to say that. Well, not everyone, but like when James Gunn says it, I'm thinking, yeah, bro, you should say that. You're in charge now. But I watched the trailer and I think, I see what y'all are getting at. Like,
yeah. And it feels like, yeah, there's like a lot of nostalgia in it, but it feels like it's not based solely on, hey, we're just going to please you guys with the nostalgia. It looks like there might actually be like a really cool story in there.
Yeah.
That there's some really cool visuals that we're going to be seeing. I've never seen an Andy Muschietti movie before because I don't watch horror movies.
It's true.
So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do with this Flash movie. And hopefully it is as good as everybody has been saying, including James Gunn himself. I think they said that Muschietti has already been in talks to direct another DC movie. Maybe we'll get another Flash movie with a different actor for Flash. and maybe he'll get to continue kind of the Flash saga.
Yeah.
One thing I'm also hoping is if Sasha Calle does a really good job as Supergirl, and if she is well received by the public, maybe James Gunn and Peter Safran will keep her on for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Because as of right now, we don't know if that will be a new Supergirl or maybe they'll keep her. Maybe they'll just be like, everybody liked her so much, why change it? You know, they're saying that the 4 leads of our upcoming DC movies have a chance of staying in the universe.
Okay.
I feel like they should also extend that to her because she would be the first Supergirl iteration of this universe anyway. So
yeah, it would be great if she got to stay.
Especially because she's Latina, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It might not be a good look if we're like, yeah, we're going to fire the Latina and potentially. Yeah. It's not a good look. The optics aren't great.
Yeah, because we had, Afro-Latina? Batgirl?
Yeah, we did.
And then they took that away from us. But
you guys should also call her.
Yeah, right? I'm excited. And it looks like Flashpoint. I watched the Flashpoint animated movie, and the shot of the manor, it just gave me, I remember that. And the shot of the emaciated super person. I was thinking like, man, this is just like that movie. But it's like you said, it doesn't feel like nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. It feels like it works with the story. Like, I've seen Flashpoint. I know that another version of Batman works for that story and is necessary. So I'm just excited.
Yeah.
It looks really dope.
I know we talk a lot about how, Ezra's got issues as well as just going on a crime spree across the country and in other countries. Watching this trailer did remind me that they are actually legitimately a very good actor.
Yeah.
I am excited to see what they bring to this Barry Allen because Barry Allen hasn't really gotten to have that attention in this universe yet.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see that. There are 2 Barry Allens. There's one scene in there that very much gives me like Back to the Future vibes, which I absolutely love. Back to the Future is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. So I really liked that. I kind of got that, not just like, ooh, this is a good superhero movie type vibes, but also like, oh, it's got like a little bit of like the classics in there as well that I really like. Michael Keaton being there with his I'm Batman.
Oh, the music cue when he shows up. I love it so much. The old school Batman theme on the piano.
His suit looks really good too. For a suit that's like rubber. like it looks really good on camera. I also love Supergirl's suit. She looks really cool.
She looks really dope.
Looks really dope in this trailer as well. I mean, my favorite shot of the trailer, which is probably everybody's favorite shot of the trailer, which is the 2 Flash feet coming together and then all of that like explosion of lightning. Oh, that looks so cool, and I can't wait.
Looking good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what. Like, yeah, we know it's Flashpoint, and we know if you know anything about Flashpoint, you know what the gist is of what the story is. Barry wants to save his mom,
right?
But it's like, how exactly is the story gonna go? for this universe. I think we always knew that Flashpoint would be some sort of a DC reset, even when it was first announced like 7 years ago. But now it's way more obvious that this is the reset. It has been called the reset.
Right.
But it's also been called one of the greatest superhero films ever made. The Dark Knight comes up in a lot of conversations when people talk about the reactions to The Flash. So we'll see if it is actually.
I hope it is.
Yeah, we'll see if it's as good as everybody's been saying it is, who have actually already seen it. But that won't be until June.
Yeah.
Which isn't too far away with how fast these months have been going by.
February is flying past us.
I'm excited. Speaking of other movies coming out in June, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. They only gave it like a 30-second Super Bowl thing, which I'm kind of sad about. I was really hoping for like a trailer. But I mean, I'm just as excited for it as I was when we got the teaser. I love Indiana Jones movies. I love Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. He clearly loves himself as Indiana Jones because he keeps coming back to the role without any sort of complaint. Whereas if you try and get him to play Han Solo, it's like trying to drag a man by his teeth.
He will fight you.
He will fight you in these streets, so much so that he was like, please kill me in 7.
Woof.
But he loves Indiana Jones, and you can feel his love and his passion for Indiana Jones in all these movies. It doesn't matter, the quality of them. Like, you can feel the fact that he loves Indiana Jones. Which
I love. I love that he has something that he loves to do, that he's still able to do, even at his big age. What did he say? I'm not falling down for you guys anymore?
Yeah.
Like, I feel it, bro. You like 80-something.
Stick to shrinking.
Yes.
We love you there, too.
I love him in shrinking.
Also, we'll see what they make you do as a president.
Right, President Ross.
President Ross in a few years. Next year. Wow, that's so soon.
Man.
But yeah, him coming back as Indiana Jones, it's going to be great. I mean, the movie's being directed by James Mangold. The visuals in the teaser look really, really good. I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge in the things that I've seen her in, so I'm excited to see her in this movie as well as his goddaughter. But yeah, there's nothing really much to tell off of this 30-second preview. It's just a bunch of shots. And those shots look very pretty, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Next up,
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Sergio Benga. Sergio Benga. Really like the song on that trailer.
Clearly.
It's such a good song. James Gunn knows how to pick them. Yeah, this very much feels like the send-off for the Guardians.
Yeah.
These trailers have not held back on this is our swan song with this Guardians of the Galaxy team, if not the Guardians of the Galaxy overall.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good trailer.
Yeah, for me, I
feel it.
My level of excitement for this movie is stable, and the trailers don't do anything to increase or decrease it. It's like, I'm excited for the movie. When it comes out, I will watch it, and I will probably enjoy it. A lot going on. Oh boy, I'm sorry, I can't remember the actor's name from Peacemaker, who was playing
I know who you're talking about.
The bad dude. He looks imposing and off-putting.
He is. More so than he was on Peacemaker, for sure.
Yeah, it's just like what they do with his, like, whatever they did to modify his head.
The gill-looking things.
Yeah.
Chokori Iwuji.
Thank you.
As the High Evolutionary. Also, Daniela Melchior is also in this movie. I'm very excited about that.
She in the trailer?
I don't think she's in the trailer. I just see her name on IMDb right now, and I love her in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
so,
look at James bringing in his other peeps.
That's what he likes to do. We're probably going to get the same thing when DC movies start. Let's start fan casting Karen Gillan right now. Yeah, I'm stoked. I think I feel the same way as you. Like I don't think there's anything that's gonna like decrease my excitement level. I don't think there's anything that you can really do to increase my excitement level unless you tell me something about Adam Warlock, which they're not right now.
He's in there.
Yeah, he's in there. I have no idea what Adam Warlock's role is going to be in this movie, but he is a character that I have been waiting for since before Infinity War, and then was disappointed because he was not in Infinity War. Yeah, that post-credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 had me so stoked just at the existence of Adam Warlock in this universe. So I'm excited to finally see him. But there's some great stuff in this trailer.
Yeah, the stuff with Rocket, we're getting more.
Yo, if we lose Rocket, bro, that would be super sad. I love the line that he gives, though. He says something along the lines of,
he didn't want to make things perfect. He just hated things the way they are.
Yeah, it was a good one. And you can hear like the sadness in his voice when he says it.
Yeah.
A little baby Rocket.
And then
the flashback.
And then Star-Lord telling Gamora the story of like them falling in love without saying that it was her, but like finally revealing it, and it's really funny. And then the Nebula thing at the end as well.
I feel like the jokes are still gonna hit. It's so interesting seeing Nebula's character from Guardians 1 to here, just where she's gone.
Yeah.
Is wild.
What if Nebula's still the best Nebula though? So
Cha-Cha. The femme fatale Nebula.
Yes.
We love it.
We love to see it. We want more of it, please. She's great. yeah, like the Guardians movies have always been good. And like, I mean, to be honest, they've always been very good. Yeah. So it's like it's more than just good. They're very good.
Right.
James Gunn knows what he's doing when listen, you put that man behind a superhero movie or a superhero show, it's going to be gold. It's going to be magic. So I'm very excited to see what this one's going to be. I'm a little sad, but I think that's mostly because the trailer kind of makes you feel like it's like, oh man, it's ending. Like,
right. Okay.
And it feels like one of the first official endings to something in the MCU.
Okay.
Like I feel like we've gotten a lot of maybe not a lot of trilogies in the MCU, but we've gotten a few of them, and I don't think any of them have ever kind of been marketed as this is the last one of this movie.
Right.
Like, I mean, maybe you could have felt the same way about Endgame, but you knew that that the MCU was going to continue beyond Endgame.
Yeah. Then we're going to stop.
Yeah, it was like, this is just the end of this saga, and then we're going to move forward, and like we lost some people in that, and that was sad, but there wasn't any marketing for the fact that we were going to lose people.
Right.
This one, it's like, this is it. We're done with Guardians.
Finishing this.
This is the swan song, and it's over. And I think you can feel that in all of the trailers.
Peter even says a line like, one last ride or one last something. I was like, okay. All right, fine.
I will say it again. This is probably the coolest Gamora has looked in any of these movies. I really like her look in this movie.
She looks really dope. I like the hair, the red and all that. Let's get weird.
Oh, okay.
Swarm.
Yeah, the new TV series from Donald Glover.
Yes. Not even that long ago, feels like, heard about Donald
It was
Glover
like a month or two ago.
Right? And I thought, oh, snap. He's already working on another show. Love it. Atlanta's gone. I'm still sad about it, but we're going to get another show.
He's been working on another show.
Yeah.
With one of the writers from Atlanta, which I feel like we should give her some props because it is technically her show probably more so than it actually is Donald Glover's.
I saw their names together on the trailer, but it looks good. I think is Dominique Fishback the star of the show?
I believe she is, yes. Janine Neighbors.
Yes, that's the...
Yes, Janine Neighbors also created this show alongside Donald Glover. She was a writer on Atlanta. The show stars Dominique Fishback. Damson Idris is apparently on it.
Yeah.
Leon, Chloe Bailey, who I'm a fan of.
This is going to be amazing. Like,
You are concerned?
I'm concerned, but in a good way. It's described as a horror thriller television series on Wikipedia, so that's fun for me.
A young woman's obsession with a pop star takes a dark turn.
Yes, the pop star is, I think, described as Beyonce-esque.
Yes.
Which is why it's called Swarm, very like a beehive.
Stan Media, this is about y'all.
Yeah, so, y'all relax. Snowfall's ending. Damson Idris is one of my favorite actors of late, and now he's going to be in this, and I love it. We've talked, even during Donald's quote-unquote comedy show, Atlanta, about how he can do creepy, he can do horror, he can do thrillers.
Yes.
And now he's just going full on with it.
Teddy Perkins would like to say hi.
That trailer, you got a dude crawling and a woman following him with an axe. You got a woman mopping up blood and dancing.
Yo, it started with the sound of bees, and I was like, nah, we good. I'm set. We're straight. I don't do bees. I want to let them live because they're extinct, but
Yeah, we need them, but they can be over there.
Yeah. I was already interested in the show from the synopsis,
right?
From like what it was about. Watching the trailer, I'm a little horrified and I'm a little worried about watching it, but I will probably give it a shot because I really like all the people involved and it sounds interesting. I'm somebody who likes to give something a shot if I find it interesting enough, no matter what the genre is. So here we go. Oh boy.
And I'm excited to see Chloe Bailey act because...
You've never watched Grownish, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay.
I know her from her thirst traps on social media. So
she was in that Disney Channel movie, Let It Shine.
The one with Tyler?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I found out about it like years later on Tumblr. I was scrolling.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I was scrolling.
She's barely in it. But
somebody said, like, "Oh, they made a Disney Channel movie about rap battles," and I was like, "I'm sorry, where was I for this? This sounds like the one made for me."
Yeah, it's that's the movie that got me into the Tale of Cyrano.
Oh, right, because he's writing it. That makes sense.
It's the Tale of Cyrano de Bergerac.
That's an interesting one.
It's on Disney Plus. You can find it, man.
I might have to.
I'll watch it with you just for the laughs. And Trevor Jackson's in it.
He's the one he's writing for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and Coco Jones is in it. Hillary Banks.
Coco Jones is in it? Is she
She's the lead girl. Yeah.
Man. We got everybody in it.
Yeah. Which is, but now that I said that Trevor Jackson's in it, that's really funny because Chloe and Halle are both on Grownish with him.
That's funny.
But like the age difference feels so obvious when I say that they were all in Let It Shine. And Chloe and Halle look like children in that movie. And Trevor's a whole teenager.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Acting.
Speaking of really dope things with black people in it, Creed 3.
Ooh.
Man, this looks so good. It looks so good. The Creed movies are fantastic.
We say as we just finished watching the first one.
Just rewatched the first one for our Throwback Thursday. peep that when it comes out. This trailer is so dope. Everything about it. Jonathan Majors, Michael B. Jordan, the music, the anime influence.
Yeah, there's just 2 shots where I was like, oh, yep, anime fighting. And I feel like for anybody who doesn't watch anime, you would just be like, that's just a normal action fight. But it's just the way that, like, the drops are sweater coming off the body, the way that he gets hit, the slow-mo of it all. Like, it felt very much like I was watching an anime.
Yeah. Anime is very dramatic, for lack of a better word.
It's very dramatic, and their action
sensationalized.
Yeah, but their action sequences are some of the best that you will find in animation.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
And the fact that Michael B. Jordan is trying to bring that into live action is incredible, and I'm so happy that he's doing that. Him and Chloe Zhao out here trying to rep for the anime fans who are trying to get action sequences in live action to look like an anime.
Also, I love that this one is giving me an antagonist that I care about.
Nice.
Already, because the first Creed, it's about Creed. Pretty Ricky Conlon is just the British dude that he has to fight.
It should be about Creed.
It's his movie, and this one is his movie as well. But it's like Rocky says in that movie, like, it's you against you. That's really his story. He's going through his own internal struggles. Whoever he had to fight was just going to be who he had to fight. The second one, there's more backstory there with Drago, obviously.
And it's about his family's legacy.
Yeah, but I don't care about Drago. So, like, it's like, oh, this big European dude looks terrifying. I'm worried for you, but I'm not interested in that antagonist. But this one, this is a character who has ties to his past. He feels like he's getting as much attention in the trailer as Adonis is.
Yeah.
Like, his backstory, it's tied to Creed. I just said that. But, like, we're getting more about it. They're talking like, Demi used to have your back, but now he doesn't. And he's doing all this. We see his rage and everything that motivates him. And it's Jonathan Majors. Ryan Coogler, forgive me. But this has the potential to be my favorite Creed movie, depending on what they do with it.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan won't be mad about it, though.
Yeah, like, and I would love that because, as we talked about in our reaction coming soon, Michael B. Jordan, that's his buddy, that's his bro. He's in all this stuff. So for him to make his directorial debut in a sequel for a movie that he starred in for Ryan Coogler is just like, love that.
I'm really excited that this is his directorial debut. I'm really excited to see what he does as a director.
Yeah.
Because we see actors, go into directing a lot, usually more so in television, I'd say, than in movies. But it does happen occasionally in movies as well. Still waiting for Bryce Dallas Howard to make that leap from TV to movies, because I think she'd probably do a really great job at it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, I feel like actors, like, they learn that skill from watching the directors that they work with. And Michael B. Jordan has worked with Ryan Coogler 4 times.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that he picked up a lot from the man himself, one of my favorite directors of all time, if not my current favorite director. It's Ryan Coogler and Rian Johnson. They fighting for it. The Ryans are fighting for it, man. And you know what? I love that for me, because it just means good content.
Yeah.
Just good movies and good TV all around. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Michael B. Jordan can do. I read somewhere that he has a bright future in directing based off of this debut. So let's do it. Let's go. Let's bring me Creed. Creed is legitimate. The first Creed is my favorite sports movie. I love Creed 2. Creed 2 is great too. I'm ready for this trilogy to be like possibly the best sports trilogy ever. Definitely my favorite sports trilogy of all time.
Yeah, I can't think of a lot of sports trilogies off the top of my head.
But Rocky has 6.
Rocky has so many. And then Mighty Ducks is the only one I can think of that I know has 3 and stopped at 3. So I don't know. Speaking of violence, John Wick 4.
That 2-hour and 40-minute John Wick movie.
Oh boy,
Coming
that is
soon.
a lot.
That's a lot
That's
of
a lot
Keanu
of
Reeves killing people.
With whatever he can find.
That's why I think I was so shocked at the runtime.
Yeah.
Because the first movie's like an hour and a half.
Right.
This one's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
And we talked about how they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
They do, but I didn't think they were getting that big. I was like, yo, that's a lot of That's a lot of killing.
It's a lot.
Because as much as I love the story of the John Wick movies, are we adding that much more? Or are we adding more story, or are we adding more violence?
I'm going to say both. Because you see who they're adding to it. And this one, it feels like the cast is like the guests, the people they're bringing in are as big a focus. Right.
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen, Bill Skarsgård, Clancy Brown is in this movie.
Yes, he is.
Scott Adkins in this movie. It's a lot. And they're not losing people. Like Lawrence Fishburne, still here. Lance Reddick, still here. Ian McShane, still here.
I mean, we lose people. We just don't lose, like, the core people that we need.
Exactly. So we're going to keep, like, they're not bringing Ruby Rose back, but she's probably dead.
But we might be bringing the adjudicator back, right?
I would assume, because they were
The adjudicator was fine at the end of the third one.
Yeah.
So.
They're like, yo, what's going on, bro? I don't know. It's going to be a lot, and I can't wait. It's just...
Me and Dallas are John Wick fans over here, so we're excited to see what Keanu Reeves is going to do for 2.5+ hours of fighting people.
I will watch Keanu Reeves kill people with dogs, guns, horses, cars, books.
He looks like he's doing all those this time around.
Whatever he can get his hands on.
I didn't see a horse this time around.
No horses this time. But
who
he
knows?
did.
He was
using traffic.
Yes, but this is a 2-minute trailer for a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. They're not going to show us everything that gets used.
The dude got hit by a car, flipped up in the air, and John shot him as he was on his way down. Like, they just keep finding new ways to wow me. And Chad Stahelski's really good.
He knows what he's doing with these action movies.
He knows what he is doing.
As long as they keep the writing up to par,
yeah,
I'm down for it.
I am down for it.
And then also still waiting on them spinoffs. So when y'all finally get them.
Yep, Ballerina and the Continental. I'm here for both of them.
Yeah, Continental. My excitement level went down just a little bit, but I'm still watch it.
Because of that person? Maybe?
Yes.
Fair. Is he the star of it?
He's one of the stars of it.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, at least he's a good actor. He sucks as a person.
Yeah.
But at least it's not
the Flash situation all over again.
Right, like you're not gonna make the show worse.
Yeah.
So that's good. Anyway, Shadow and Bone.
Right, that's on the list as well. I'm excited. I watched the first season 2 years ago. Not when it came out, but shortly after it came out, after like all the hype, like there was so much hype on Tumblr. And I was like, all right, what the heck is this show? Why do you guys keep talking about it? What is this? And I watched it and it was actually as good as everybody was saying at the time.
Nice.
It is a really good fantasy show. I am super stoked for season 2, although I did forget that it was happening for quite a while there, which is what I do with Netflix shows, to be honest with you.
That's fair.
It's one of those things. I watch it for the weekend, and then once it's gone, it's gone. And then when it comes back, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the thing that I was watching. Let me go back. I'm going to have to rewatch all of season 1 because I don't really remember anything except the ending of season 1. And I would like to be reminded. I also remembered that one of my favorite characters on the show was Jenya, who was played by Daisy Head, because Jenya is so sweet and soft, and she deserves the world, but also horrible things have happened to her, and I just want good things for her, even though she has done a bad thing. Not a bad thing like, oh, she did something awful. Right. She just betrayed somebody, and I felt bad that she had to do that.
Sometimes you got to betray people.
Sometimes you do. I just want happy things for her. But I think Colin said that her story kind of gets sadder, and then it'll get happier again, so... Who knows? I don't. We'll see. And then Louis Tan is on this season, which I'm super excited about. Yay. I love the crows. They're the little squad that they have on this show.
Okay. The murder?
I want to say that the books that they're from are the Six of Crows or something like that. Don't trust me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what the name of the book is because Colin's reading it, and I think Emily was also reading it for a while there. But yeah, it's like the gunslinger and the chick who had like the really cool daggers and and the guy who has the cane. That trio of characters, I love their dynamic. I love them. They're so fantastic. They're great. And then Ben Barnes is always amazing. Good. Yeah, I'm glad that he has come to realize that he plays a really good dick. So what
a phrase.
He's really good at playing bad people. I like that for him.
He did that in Punisher?
Punisher, Westworld, I think.
I don't know a lot of his stuff.
Like he's gone from he's come a long way from playing Prince Caspian.
Oh, Prince Caspian.
But he also played Dorian Gray around that same time. So
okay.
But yeah, he's really good at doing stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm going to have to rewatch the first season. I can't really tell you much about this trailer because I don't remember anything about the first season. So I'm just like, oh man, a lot of cool stuff is happening in this trailer. Yeah. I don't know if I can give you theories or go into detail, but I can tell you I'm excited to see what it is. It's coming out in March. So I will be watching it, and I'm sure Colin, I can't even say I'm sure Colin will either because he don't be watching season 2s.
We never know with him.
Although he seems very excited for season 2 of this show. So I feel like he might actually watch it this time. Because there's a particular, because he reads the books and there's a particular character coming onto the show that he's been very excited about.
Okay.
So he might actually watch this one. And he was the one who sent us the trailer and was super excited about it.
He was. That's true. We'll see.
I think he's more excited about this trailer than I am. He just is not here today.
Yeah, because, he's gone. When is he here? But, did you want to talk about the Little Mermaid?
Let's do it. Last one. Disney, where's my Little Mermaid trailer? Why are you playing around with me?
Talk about the lack of a Little Mermaid trailer.
That's what I'm going to talk about. The lack of a Little Mermaid trailer. Why are you playing with me with this 30-second teaser that you put out for Disney's 100th? No, give me the full trailer. The movie's out in May, and we still haven't gotten a trailer.
That's kind of crazy. I just want to hear David.
I want to hear Jacob Tremblay. I want to hear Aquafina. I want to hear all these people speak. Let's be fair here.
Where are they?
Halle Bailey hasn't said a word yet. She has sang every word that you can think of, but she has not said a word. And I want it. Melissa McCarthy has cackled.
That's true. You got a cackle from Ursula.
She did get that. She has that evil cackle down, though. That is
Definitely
on par. That is what that sounds like. And she does look really cool in that little dark
the tentacle shot.
Yeah, shot that they gave us at the end of the teaser. So I'm super excited about this movie. It was my third most anticipated movie of the year, and I want to see more of a trailer because I was like, I've seen most of these shots from the teaser that you gave us at D23. Now the last half of this, like this last 15 seconds of stuff that we haven't seen, there is a very cool shot of her reaching up for the surface of the water and it's reflecting back at her. That's a very good shot. It's beautiful. I like the colors in a lot of these shots, like her falling into the pink, whatever those are. I don't know. It might be an animal of some sort. She looks very much like she'll be a good Ariel. Like the shot of her playing with the puffer fish and she blows out her cheeks when it puffs out at the same time. Super cute, super adorable, very Ariel. The shot of all of her sisters dancing around and being super colorful and just like, I'm so interested in the design of the mermaids and like what's considered clothing, what's part of the actual body. I'm fascinated by that.
Question.
And the water effects look really, really good.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, this doesn't look anywhere as good as Avatar. I need y'all to remember, Avatar took 5 years to make. This movie did not nearly have that amount of time. This still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
CGI wise. You guys are just being snobs.
Y'all gotta relax.
Y'all really gotta relax, man. Leave these CGI people alone. They are overworked.
They're
as it
tired.
is.
They're tired. They're probably being held from their families.
Being held at gunshot. Leave them alone.
Right? Like, bro, just let these people live. You're making their jobs harder.
They're doing the best they can with the time that they are given.
Every time you tweet, they have to work longer hours.
Man, what we should have mentioned about Marvel is that they're slowing down their release rate. Thank God.
Oh, right. Good. Everybody just take a break. Let these people go
Apparently
home.
They said they want to focus more on post-production, which, yeah, after all the articles that have come out recently, you should.
Oh, boy. Movies.
Maybe the CGI people will finally get a break.
Yeah, they can go see their kids. They're like freaking Scott Lang out here. I ain't seen their kids in 5 years because y'all want to complain about CGI. Anyway.
Also getting less shows on a yearly basis.
Yeah, we don't need all that.
We're down to 2 now. I think we're only getting Loki and Secret Invasion this year.
I'll take it.
Which means Echo and Ironheart are coming later.
Anyway, yeah, that's everything.
That is everything. That's
we
so
did
much.
it. Thank you, audience. You listen to us. We love you. Keep on keeping on. Also, shout out to White Tears on the note of Little Mermaid. We're always going to say it. Thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon and Ira, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Demi, thank you for editing and putting us on YouTube. Repping for the Vox Vixens, what as I decided is what we're going to call the fans of Vox Machina.
Usually they're called critters because of Critical Role, but hey, I'll take it.
That's cute. I like alliteration. Colin and Gabby are not here. They get no thanks. Audience, what'd you guys think of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? What'd you think of Vox Machina and the horny Harley special?
Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
Yeah, I don't want to say the whole thing. Let us know in the comments or hit us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC, or TikTok at Creative Differences Pod. I promise if we can consolidate all these things to the same name, we will.
One day.
I don't think we can.
We can't on Twitter, but everything else we should probably figure
We can try.
out. Yeah.
I've tried. It's hard. Yeah, if you want to talk about Jonathan Majors and how he's dope, find me on Twitter and Instagram at a king named Simba.
Dallas took mine. So if you guys want to talk to me about the Legend of Vox Machina, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thank you guys again for joining us.
Yes. You can find Gabby on Twitter at Mommy Macaroni, and you can find Colin on Twitter at Bad Dragon. I will not explain that, but Colin gets it. All right. It's been different. Bye.
Bye.
Do we have a question for you?
Okay.
One gotta go.
Oh, God.
Vox Machina.
No.
Willow.
Okay.
Rings of Power or House of the Dragon?
Oh, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this.
Oh, fun.
House of the Dragon.
Cool. Don't explain it to the people. We're out.